On one of my days off, I took a ride across New Jersey and visited 4 malls. All 4 of these malls are places that I've been to throughout different decades of my life. The mainly featured malls will be Menlo Park Mall and Woodbridge Center. Both of these malls are places that I'd visited often as a kid, but hadn't really visited in recent years. My day's outing began with a look at Woodbridge Center Mall. The Sears at Woodbridge Mall is going to be closing in April of 2020. The Lord & Taylor already closed, leaving the mall that had 6 anchors with only 4 anchors. It does have some junior anchors such as Dave & Buster's and Sequest Interactive Aquarium. The mall originally opened in 1971 and has 1.6 million square feet of retail space. It's a 2-level mall and is one that actually still has some fountains. Because it's such a rare feature in malls these days, I decided to make a feature on some of the fountains seen in this mall. They're located in the wings containing Macy's and Lord & Taylor. Let's have a little look at them before we continue with this mall. This area on the second floor of the mall is near Sears, and it's very obvious that this used to also be a fountain. However, the fountain has been removed and it's been cleverly used as an area for live plants. With a lot of skylights, there's a lot of natural light in the upstairs of this mall. The Sears announced that they'll be closing in April of 2020 and currently has nothing on the 3rd floor. On the opposite end of the mall, there is a carousel located near the JCPenney anchor. The carousel is running and operable, however I did not see it run this day, perhaps because it was a weekday and there weren't many children in the mall. And here we have another look at the beautiful skylights when on a sunny day give a lot of light to the mall. With 2 levels to this mall and a very long walkway between the 2 anchors on either end, you could easily spend a lot of time in this mall. I'm not entirely sure how much of this mall has changed since I was a kid, and even at that we didn't go to Woodbridge Center quite as much, as Quaker Bridge Mall was actually the mall that I mostly went to as a kid. However, we did have relatives that lived in the area, so we would come by once in a while. And here, before we leave, above the entrance that I used, this light fixture is kind of disturbing. It looks like a giant eyeball. My next stop would be at Menlo Park Mall. This mall's even older than Woodbridge Center, having been built in 1959. However, when it first opened, it was a single-story building that wasn't expanded upon until 1990 to 1991, when almost the entire mall shut down for extensive renovations. I somehow recall that we went to this mall a little more often than we went to Woodbridge Center. Unfortunately, I don't remember what it originally looked like because it has just been so many years since we went there. Nearby this mall was Roosevelt Park, which was a location we went to frequently as a kid because that's where we always had our family picnics. This mall is right down the road from that location. Perhaps my memory is a little bit vague of this mall, however it wouldn't matter because the renovations are just so extensive. The arches in this mall are incredible. They're very, very high and it's very well lit with skylights up above. Alongside the elevator shaft is probably the largest video screen I've ever seen outside of a ballpark. The mall features several of these domes. Here you can see the food court, which is a very large and proper food court. It's got a lot of natural lighting in it and a lot of seats. The mall has 2 parking decks and 4 active anchors. There's a 2-story Barnes & Noble in this mall that has escalators to and from the 2nd floor. This is a strange section of the mall. It almost appears to be a little bit of a time capsule, as if it's still a remaining part of the original structure. It's a single story tall and has some of the weirder, smaller, definitely less upscale stores. And it's also home to a very unusual place called the Rainforest Cafe. Unfortunately, I did not get to film inside of the Rainforest Cafe very much. It is, after all, an active cafe restaurant, and it had people seated next to the most gorgeous fountain you'll ever see inside of a mall. My stop at Bridgewater Commons was actually along the way home, and it was just a matter of convenience. It's been a long time since I've seen a Lego store, and being a big fan of Legos, I decided to stop there just to window shop. I also stopped at the food court and got a milkshake, so what the heck, so I got a single picture of that. I then left Bridgewater Commons and headed home, and of course along the way home is nothing other than Phillipsburg Mall. Because I intend to make a larger video someday of Phillipsburg Mall as it's nearing its final weeks in business, I didn't spend very much time here. However, I did get some photos of the recent update, which includes the removal of the kiddie rides in front of the Black Rose anchor and the removal of the Verizon store right around the corner from there. And of course, no visit to Phillipsburg Mall is complete without a lap around the mall and a visit to a couple creepy friends.